All right, thanks everybody for being here. Obviously, great team win, the way we bounce back, come up here on the road, make the plays that winners make, especially down the stretch. It was a great team win, all three phases. I thought we played, pretty well, and I see a lot of room for improvement though still. And that's what we'll work on this week. A lot of little things continue to kind of reoccur, but really proud of our seniors. They were the ones that led us through last week, especially for our beat reporters that were at practice a week ago. The guys responded when we got back off the bus a week ago from Ann Arbor. That's when this game started, and the credit goes to our seniors. And to come up here and our defense had their backs against the wall a couple times, but I think we were +3 in the turnover ratio, and when that happens, that's a big catalyst to winning the football game. So proud of our seniors, great team win, way to bounce back, and I want to wish Mark and his staff and his young men best of luck next week. Obviously, it'd be huge for them to get in the postseason. We got a ton of respect for the way Mark coaches, the way his staff goes about their business, and obviously the way their young men play. So I'll have some questions.
Fitz, was Kane unavailable late, or did you just go to Trevor because you wanted him?
Yeah, Kane was a little bit dinged up, and we made a decision to go with Trev, and it was just a decision that we had made.
Fitz, you talked about this past Monday about bouncing back, flushing it.
Yeah.
How do you do it not only in practice, but then also when you get to the game, same situation, and to close out a win like that?
Yeah, Chris, I think it starts and ends with recruiting character young men. And I'm like a broken record on that, but our young men are resilient because of the way that they've been raised. And we get a young man that comes to our program that, number one, believes in himself, and as we try to create a program here, we try to instill a set of values and things that we believe in. They have to buy into it, they have to own it, they have to manage it, and they have to hold each other accountable to it on a moment-by-moment, day-by-day basis. And it's all kind of part of the blueprint. So when you have success, you got to do a great job, I think, as a staff, of kind of shutting the noise out, because you get complacent, you think you're better than you are. And then when you have some tough defeats like we've had, you got to shut out the noise and negativity. And it's a 24-hour news cycle and social media. It's tough on our guys. It's hard as it's ever been. It's as hard as it's ever been. But we talked about that on Monday. I said that the guy that was your best friend 2 weeks ago when we beat Iowa now thinks that you're not worth a darn when we lose a tough one in Ann Arbor. That's why you don't listen to that stuff. Otherwise you're on a roller coaster of emotions. So just stay consistent, stay the course, and keep plugging along. And again, the credit goes to our seniors and to our young men.
You talk about Ibrahim today, the game he had, big play inside, down to the goal line, the strip, the fumble recovery, he had 11 tackles.
Great bounce back game for Ibrahim. It was a tough day last week for him. A little bit very uncharacteristic day for him a week ago. And I think he learned it. He's still only a sophomore. So as a sophomore, I was on like everybody's draft day highlights on the other team. And I think sometimes people think that he's older than he is. And that is what it is. But he's only a sophomore, and he had to learn one of those tough lessons a week ago. He had a couple of bad things happen to him early in the game, and it kind of became like weights on his back. It kind of had a backpack on every missed play or missed opportunity. Kind of put another 5-10-pound plate in his back. You got to learn that lesson as a competitor. It's one thing to learn it in practice in spring ball or 2-a-days. It's another thing to learn it in the arena. And again, the credit goes to him and Jerry Brown. Jerry identified it. We tried to get it corrected last week, but sometimes it's hard as a young player. But Jerry identified it. They had some great talks this week. And again, the credit goes to Ibrahim. He played a wonderful game.
Coach, you talked about Dan Vitale, true freshman, just kind of right since development and following his passing game today.
Well, I think number one, Danny comes from a terrific family, and he'll be one of my favorites. He was the easiest guy in history that I've ever recruited at Northwestern. I looked at him and I said, Dan, I want to offer you a scholarship. And before I got out, he took it. So, I don't think I wrote him a handwritten letter. I don't think I Facebooked him and all that stuff. Danny's had a dream of playing at Northwestern, and when the opportunity presented itself, he jumped on it. We're very grateful and very thankful for that. So again, it's funny, you forget that he's 18 years old, plays at a high level, and a couple weeks ago, Drake Dunsmore was back in his Bible to watch the game. Drake says to me after the game, he goes, "Wow, he's a lot better than me. I didn't want to crush Drake, I was like, he's pretty good, he'll be all right. Maybe he'll be in your league, but Danny's got a bright future."
Coach, fans sometimes complain when you're trying to wipe out the clock and you run the ball a lot. So today you guys were more aggressive throwing the ball, and you got a couple first downs out of it.
I had our our FBI guys give me all those complaints, and so because of our fans, I changed. Make sure you tell them that. Okay, make sure it's crystal clear, all right? We're gonna do what we believe is gonna help us to win, period. End of discussion. And, you know, it is what it is. Sometimes you're right, and sometimes you're not. When you're not, you're the GOAT. I get it. I get it. I totally get it. I respect it and I understand it, but I promise you this, we're trying to call the plays to help us win, and our guys are trying to execute to the best of their ability. End the discussion.
Okay, Rick, Mark today a little banged up obviously last week.
Yep.
Tried to go.
Yeah, I tried to go and then just got a little banged up again, and so, you know, trying to be smart. You know, we feel like we've got really good depth there. You know, Michael and Tyrus kind of picked that up there today based on, you know, the way that things are going. Trayvon Green's doing great. It's just, you know, those guys are playing pretty well.
Consider going for it on 4th down and all?
No. Not at all.
Do you think Venrick, is this going to be something where you're not going to know until late in the week about his availability next week?
Yeah, you know, I don't know. I mean, I see him on a boundary. I mean, he's just one of those tough deals, and you know, it happened in overtime, and I'm not very pleased on the play that it happened on. It is what it is too. But you know, I asked him if he's going. I just asked him if he's going to play next week, and he told me yeah. Both him and Kane said that. So take that for what that's worth. Prada's calling somebody here. You want me to answer it for you? Whoever's phone that is. That's what it says. PRAD.
Can you talk a little bit about Trevor and how you think he handled the late game situation this week? I know since you kind of focused more on Kane and Benrick against Iowa, he hasn't gotten as much time to see the field. So how do you think he responded to getting more playing time?
Well, I'll go back to last week. I thought he came in and played outstanding. I mean, he really played well, and I think I believe he's carried that over. There's a couple of things we like back in the 2-minute drill at the end of the first half that we had and we missed. But I think as the game went along, that helped him, that experience. We've been saying this all year. We believe we've got 2 quarterbacks we can win with. You know, it's a lot better situation and probably better than a lot of NFL teams. You know, I mean, that gives us a chance in every game. And Mick is doing a terrific job with them. And I get asked a lot, when are you doing it, why are you doing it? I mean, really, it's a flow of the game. It's a feel for what they're doing, how they're playing, our guys, and then how they're playing us. So Mick and the offensive staff have done a great job.
Had a lot of guys dinged up with just as physical other games. But
Well, we knew that these 2 weeks would be really physical, and I think it's more just a culmination of the whole season. Absolutely. I mean, hallmark of Mark's teams are their physicality, and this was a physical game, but there were guys that went out on their side too. I mean, it's a mid-November Big Ten football game. You know, I like it. I like it. It's good to see. I think the whole league is getting better.
Coach, talk about your game plan in stopping Le'Veon Bell in the run game.
Well, I'm not sure we stopped him. I appreciate the compliment, but you know, I think that we found a way to contain him. He didn't have any explosion runs today. There was some discussion in the headphones about how we didn't fit properly on a few plays. What I mean is, you know, we got a guy that's on this side of the microphone and a guy on that side, and when this guy, you know, overlaps, we got to see him. They got to see him to go hit, and you know, they're going to do that. I mean, Coach Rochard and his staff do a great job. You know, they've got answers for what we're doing, and you know, I thought Hank and the defensive staff really adjusted well, and then you guys went out and executed to be able to get the pressure that we needed. You know, we knew that they were going to continue to try to throw the ball.
You said on Monday that you believe that your young team is growing up, and a game like this and a fourth quarter like this, evidence of that?
I mean, I guess that's for you to decide, but I think they've been growing up all year. I mean, I really have. I mean, you look at the way that we've just continued to kind of grind along. You know, and I also think this, when you graduate as many guys as we did a year ago, I mean, that's kind of your core, you know, your core guys right there at the center. And they did a terrific job leading, and we had some difficult times, you know, and some difficult stretches, and kind of similar to what Mark's going through right now, you know, and you know, to see the way that the program has responded, I think is a terrific credit to our players. They've stayed the course. Again, I'll go back to what I said earlier. We're going to set things out for them as far as a vision and a belief system and a value system, but it takes them to own it, it takes them to manage it every day, and it takes them to hold each other accountable to the Wildcat way, and they've done that. So we've got a huge challenge next week, a rivalry game that you throw the records out when we play each other, and you know, looking forward to the challenge.
Coach, can you talk about the physicality of your secondary, particularly with Jared's strip at the end? It seems like they're really going after fumbles and playing physical coverage justice.
Yeah, you know, I think everybody in the country on defense has kind of been invigorated by Peanut Tillman. You know, I really do. I mean, We showed him a bunch of those plays a couple weeks ago during our bye week that he made. And not that you don't practice that, not that you don't work it, but especially midway through the season as a coach, you kind of become like Charlie Brown's teacher. You know, the guy, they're not hearing what you're saying. I mean, they're tired of you. They want to break. They want to get away from you. And then when you see something like that happen, like he did a couple weeks ago, it really reinforces, you know, our belief that you got to go for the ball to win. And you know, our turnover ratio, you know, I think over the years has been really solid, and that's critically important to win Big Ten football games, especially in Europe.
We got time for one more?
How would you describe what happened in the first half?
I thought the White Sox were playing the Tigers. It looked like a baseball game. I mean, it was unbelievable. We got to be smarter with the ball. You know, we were critical of our decision. We said to ourselves, gosh, maybe we should have just done something different there on second down with the safety. But at the same time, we got to get rid of the ball and have a little bit better awareness. But you know, and then the 2-minute drill, we're a little critical of. Third downs, we got to be better on both sides. You know, but again, a road win in the Big Ten comes with a great price. I mean, it's hard to win on a road in Big Ten, and so I'm proud of the guys. And you know, obviously here we're embarking on Thanksgiving week, and I know our beat guys will be with us on Monday and throughout the week. But to all that support us and support college football, I want to say thanks, and we're thankful for you, and obviously we're very thankful for our young men here on Thanksgiving week, and a lot to be thankful for at Northwestern. Great leadership, great support, great young men in our locker room that make us all proud, and obviously very proud of our coaching staff for the job that they're doing.
Thanks, Coach.
Okay, thank you guys. Go Cats.